It is time for week 1 here against Druby. If you haven't seen the team builder, that was uploaded yesterday. Check the top right corner for that. Interesting team, as I said, this is going to be very much a game based around Choice Spin and Dragapult trying to break through. A team that has no resist to it until Iron Moth Terras. So, pretty interesting matchup, and let's get right into it. The team that was kind of expected is what is here. So Iron Moth, Garganacl, Slowbro. I think what I want to do here, Noah Lilligant Hisuian is interesting. I'm just going to lead Dragapult. Keep it nice and simple here. Let's not overcomplicate things too much. But good luck, have fun to Druby here. As I said, I really like Capture Card keeps up the entire way through this battle. But yeah, no Lilligant Hisuian I think kind of makes sense with my Volcarona. It does seem to be a difficult Pokemon to bring. He leads with Dragonite. I think there's like a high probability that this happens to be Choice Scarf Dragonite. Considering it's a counter lead to my Dragapult, so I'm just gonna switch right out here into my Vaporeon. Just kind of the easiest play to make here. It could be special. He's just gonna withdraw immediately. I think that kind of leads me to believe he's not Choice Scarf then. We get the Garganacl though. That's a pretty big switch in for me. I'll certainly take that. So that's probably not Scarf then. In that case, Garganacl is like the common answer then, or the common switch into this. So I'm just gonna throw off for Surf, put some damage onto something. If he wants to go into something like Amoonguss here, I'm pretty okay with that. We have the Iron Hands, which comes in for free in that scenario. They can go into Palafin, but then all they're doing is just switching in to switch back out. And then at that point, I probably just click Ice Beam to target the Amoonguss slot. Slowbro Galar, another Pokemon that can probably come in here. Slowbro Galar is a Pokemon that is a little bit difficult for me to switch in on. That Surf does a lot of damage. That's about half, and they just go for the Salt Cure here. Just looking to deal some damage here. I have a lot of health, so it's going to be good for them to get some damage here early. I'm going to assume that this has Protect to get some damage off on this. I think assuming it has Protect to get some damage off on this. Is there a reason to go in anything else? I can just get aggressive on the Protect into something like Iron Hands in this spot. I don't think something like that hurts. Once again, I need to preserve some HP on this Vaporeon. And on a pretty obvious Protect here, I think it's just good to swap out. I don't think they're going to want to get rid of this thing that early, so let's just go into Iron Hands. They're going to withdraw. Probably into Amoonguss here. Into the Palafin. Interesting. Okay. So Palafin's probably going to be hard swapped here. I'd have to imagine. I can't think of any reason to not hard this out right now. I can go right back into the Vaporeon here, just to, in case they want to use Flip Turn here. They're just going to withdraw. Yeah. Let's see what comes in. Amoonguss. Interesting. I guess it kind of makes sense. I guess this doesn't really change the game at all, because I'm just going to switch right back into I'm going to switch right back in my Iron Hands, and I probably would have just clicked like a Wild Charge or something there. But I think I'm okay with everything about how this game is going so far. I have a little bit more damage than I would like on my... in my Vaporeon at this stage of the game. He's getting really aggressive here. Out into the Palafin, which is interesting. It is Palafin Hero now. But as I said, pretty much every set at this point should basically be walled by my Vaporeon. What's going on here? Are we just gonna play stalemate gameplay the whole time? Like I don't know what someone's got to break the situation eventually. And it's not gonna be me. I have no incentive to, because all of his plays to break this are beneficial to me. Like if he uses this opportunity to Spore, then I mean I come in on this for free, and then I get to click a move. So I get to finally do some more damage, and they use Spore, but the safety goggles comes out to protect me on that one, so that's kind of expected. That was the first kind of situation that, you know, it's happened this game that's gone my way. So let's think about what my opponent wants to do here in terms of a prediction. They probably can't stay on this. I can probably just Fire Punch, you know, maybe fish a burn on the Silver Galler. If I Earthquake, it's just going to heal a lot of that damage off anyway. They're probably not going to go Iron Moth, and not with, you know, Earthquake being such an obvious option. He could go Palafin here really, really aggressively. But I can get a burn, so let's just go for the Fire Punch. Deal a good amount of damage there on that thing. And they're just going to clear Smog. I'm going to take basically 0 damage, which is kind of funny. We do get to reveal the item as well as Black Sludge, so that is crucial. So now we're at a point, do they want to get aggressive here? They probably want to preserve some Mungus health. I could Wild Charge here, but I don't think Palafin's ever coming in. They could go for something like Iron Moth, but I think I'm just content to Fire Punch, and if they go Slowborough Galler, and then I, you know, have a 10% chance at a burn, and I think I'm, you know, content with something like that. They could go into something like a Dragon. Nah, Dragonite doesn't make a lot of sense here. You know, risking an Ice Punch this early in the game seems a little unnecessary. They are going to withdraw Mungus here, though. And let's see what they go into. Into the Garganackle. Okay, perfect. Fire Punch. Do I get a burn? Any burns? No, and we do. No, this is leftovers as well. Is there any reason why I can't just, like, attack this? This is probably an opportunity for them to get up their Stealth Rocks. I guess I could just Earthquake me here. It's probably the most likely situation. I need to preserve health on my, what's it called? My Vaporeon, though. So I think I'm just kind of content taking a hit and Drain Punching the rest of this thing's health off of it. If they want to get aggressive and go for Stealth Rocks, I'm even faster. Wow. I did not really expect to be faster, and that almost died, too. That could have been an insanely good turn for me. And they just go for the Recover here, so just trying to get some health back. But once again, this is kind of a situation that I'm content within. The Drain Punch is doing less than the Recover is, though. But they are forced to recover basically every time here. As they just go for another Drain Punch. As you can see there, we're probably doing about 47. As they go for the Stealth Rocks, wow, getting that play. I don't know if it's getting the play wrong. You know, I wouldn't say, yeah, it could be a tough play to get to make that play, to recover again, because then you're kind of playing into that situation. Yeah, that's kind of a tough look for them, only in that, you know, there's not much they could have done. They're probably going to lose this thing anyway. So the question here now is if I attack, I could Wild Charge. Wild Charge protects some pretty aggressive switch-ins. It protects against the Slowbro Galler, for example. This thing isn't like ground type. I think I like Wild Charging just to protect against some common switch-ins here. I am at full health, so yeah, we're just going to go and get this kill. Perfect, so Garganackle down. That is one of the ways that Dragapult does not win this game immediately for me. That's one of the big problems out of the way there. So we get the Garganackle has been removed. Well, it likes to bring out the Iron Moth here. This leads me to believe this is a 1,000,000% Terra Fairy. Quark Drive, Booster Energy, so it's Special Attack Booster Energy, but then, you know, this is our answer to this is always going to be the Diancie. There's just, you know, this is what we brought the Pokemon for, this is what we're going to use it for, so we're going to go right here into the Diancie. Luckily we do have heavy duty boots now on Volcarona as well, so we're not too concerned. With the rocks that the Garganackle got up early. Gonna elect a Terra. I can't imagine this is grass. This would be kind of ridiculous. Is that grass? No, it's definitely fairy. Okay. So that makes a lot of sense. I was like half concerned for a second that this might be Terra Grass, looking at the animation. They like to go for the Dazzling Gleam. But we can take those all day, every day. Still a lot of damage, but I think we're content with where we're at. I could set up my own Stealth Rocks. I don't think that particularly matters much at this point in the game, outside of the Dragonite, which is probably heavy-duty boots considering they switched out. I'm just going to elect to click Flash Cannon here, put some damage, and that Energy Ball could potentially kill, but it's not going to, which is really, really nice. And we get a Flash Cannon off here, and that's going to do a decent chunk of damage, not a terrible amount. of course, but we do get a little bit of chip on that. So this is probably... So this is Gleam. Surprised it's not Terra Blast in this spot. I think with that booster energy, it does break through this Pokemon pretty effectively. It's likely I can bring in my own Volcarona after this and try to get some damage. If they let me have Stealth Rocks, I think I'm just gonna click Flash Cannon again, see if they let me have this Flash Cannon damage, and they go for the Fire Dance, trying to get a little bit of an extra boost there, but that is not going to happen, as we unfortunately lose our Pokemon there. So right here, interesting situation. The Jugglist can't really come in and revenge at this point. Our best bet is probably just to go into our own... This is kind of a dicey spot to go into our own Volcarona. I could Phantom Force here. What happens if I Phantom Force? Let me run the calc on this. So I could just go into Dragapult here and Phantom Force. I think that's probably going to be the safest play that I have available to me. It's going to do a lot of damage, and there's no way that there's really much of a downside to doing this as a Choice Banded set. So, especially where it boosts its special attack. So let's just click Phantom Force and claim a kill here. This set was not really one that I had considered, which is why I'm a little bit anxious about this spot. So we vanish, and then that means we're going to avoid the Dazzling Gleam, and that means we're going to kill something here in a second. Something's gonna die with Adamant Choice Band. There's like a decent chance that, I think with the chip though, there's almost like no necessarily way that this dies. This doesn't die unless it's like a extremely defensive Pokemon. I'm a little nervous that this might have been a mistake, but we are Adamant Choice Band. Yeah, and they're gonna withdraw Iron Mouth. I think they know the writing is on the wall if they stay in on that. And Amoonguss is gonna come out here. That is going to do a lot of damage to the Amoonguss. This is an interesting turn here now. Do I want to click the move again? Because there's a decent chance that this kills. There's a decent chance that this kills from here after the next Black Sludge. And if they Spore, I'm obviously not going to get Spored. I'm just going to click it again. Just gonna, there's kind of no real drawback to making this sort of play here. And now I'm pretty much either going to get to kill this or claim whatever else they want me to have. So I'm perfectly content with I'm content with just Phantom Forcing again. Let's pick up some more damage. And this is kind of like exactly what was expected in this matchup. Was Dragapult just has such a field day. Such a field day on this. And now Dragonite comes out. So Dragonite is kind of an interesting problem here. And that if it is DD, then we are in a little bit of trouble. Thankfully, we do have the Terra Moth to come in and hopefully do something. But we're just going to go into the Vaporeon. Vaporeon is our answer to this, basically every time at this point. So if it Dragon Dances in my face, then I think we're content with that. We take a little bit of rock sandwich if he just selects to go for the Dragon Claw. And yeah, the Dragon Dance as expected here in this scenario. But we do have the Terra Fairy, which does make an interesting situation. But we just get to click Ice Beam here. There's no reason not to Ice Beam this. You can obviously elect to go for Iron Head, but we do have Rocky Helmet, which is also like an interesting has some interesting counterplay here. What mon did I lose? I lost something. I should probably be tracking what of mine dies as well. They're going to elect a Dragon Claw, but we're going to actually die. Which is unfortunate. So we lose a Palafin answer early. That's not really good. It's Life Orb. Okay, Life Orb is kind of annoying. I can go right here into my Choice Scarf. Iron Jugglist. This likely brings in the Terra Iron Moth. I could have been really fast with Band, and that might have been decent for this spot, but then it doesn't kill the Amoonguss. I can bring this in and try to risk a situation. I'm just going to bring this Choice Scarfer in. I mean, this is the reason it's here, right? Like, we're not going to get too creative. with this. I think now, Dragon Pulse obviously is going to put this, deal a lot here, and then at that point I feel a little bit more comfortable with the Terra Volcarona. We're getting into a situation where potentially Palafin can really cause trouble to my team because of the way that we played this. There's like a strong likelihood now that Iron Moth comes in because of this, so this is a little bit of a 50-50 here. I'm just going to U-turn. I think it's kind of obvious that this is going to switch. Wow, it's going to stay in, which is interesting. Alright, we're in a little bit of a tough spot now because of this, but the Life Orb damage means that we are going to be able to pick this off afterwards. Man, this is not... I don't feel confident about this spot. I think I just go hand, so it's DD, Dragon Claw, Roost, Earthquake maybe? That's got to be Iron Head. I'm going to go into this. Yeah, I think I put myself into like a precarious spot here that I'm not really confident in. Just like to go to Dragon Claw. That's going to do like an actual million to this. Amoonguss is down though, and this was the reason that we had... Amoonguss was the reason that we had this. So I guess I'm okay with that. I'm just going to... Do I click Drain Punch here? I think it's likely if I get the chance to attack, it's going to be because they've elected to Roost. So I'd probably prefer to just Drain Punch this thing. They elect a Dragon Claw again. Yeah, I'm not... I'm feeling a little bit... Oh yeah, it's Vapor and Iron Hands that we both... And Diancie that we lost. Okay. So now Juggalist does come out 100% here because we have to revenge kill this thing. He knows that we're Choice Scarf now, so that creates like an interesting spot. If they stay in... Is there a justification for them staying in? I mean, if they stay in, if they switch and go to Iron Moth here, then I go into my Volcarona, and that opens up, like, that opens up an interesting turn for me. On Slowbro Galar, I kind of want this for Slowbro Galar as well, so I'm just going to Dragon Pulse here, see if they overpredict. Oh my goodness, Extreme Speed is unfortunate there. Not the last move. I kind of didn't expect that, honestly, that move to be there, but alright, we're in a little bit of a tough spot, but I think that this game is opened up almost enough. I think this game is open enough, honestly, where I think I'm okay with where I'm at Pokemon-wise. I think not... I should have gone into this first and left the Iron Juggalist left. I think that was kind of a pretty big mistake there to make. I'm just going to Terra Blast here. If it's Iron Head, it's Iron Head. This is kind of a 50-50 here. I think there's like a decent chance that this might just be Earthquake on Terrafire. But I don't think that's like a real 50-50 here. I think like they probably just have Earthquake, and that's like... Oh, they just have Extreme Speed. That did a million damage. And they do get burned. Okay. Alright, so we pick up... So we do kill the Dragonite. Okay. So where are we at this point? Is the question. I think we're almost in... We might be in Dragapult win range here. This is starting to get really dicey, so we can... We're at the point now where we want damage on Iron Moth. I think is the last thing we need to win this game. And we have the requisite damage on Iron Moth. They're going to elect to send Palafin out here, which is interesting. Probably just to priority. They could try to set up here. I mean, I'm just going to Giga Drain. I have no reason just not to click Giga Drain. They could bulk up and just select a Jet Punch. A burn here would be insane if that happened, but it looks like we're not going to get it. Yeah, I think going into the Iron Juggalist was just not a play that ever made sense in that situation. It was honestly a pretty big throw on my part. I'm not really happy with how I played that turn, because I could have used the Choice Scarf damage here, actually. A decent amount to potentially win me this game. So, I'm not really content with that and how I played that. But, I mean, we still have an opportunity here. We do... I mean, Jet Punches aren't doing anything to me. We do need to use the Phantom Force here to actually choose the correct move. And now, he probably just gets actually regular attack me now. I assume he gets knockoff or something. Yeah, he's just going to regular attack me now. with Wave Crash or something. I'm just gonna like to bulk up. Yeah, that makes sense to do that. I think we kind of knew that set was always coming. And it is leftovers. Yeah, so if I had Iron Jugulus, what would I have done in this situation? I probably Dark Pulse this, maybe? I don't think that actually changes the situation. I think DD Dragonite was pretty difficult in this spot, kind of all things considered. I think I have to crit this now, is kind of my win condition at this point. Ooh, they're gonna let that sub. Interesting. So sub, bulk up, jet. So I think they were just playing around and being safe. Well, this doesn't. Wait, hold on. Wait, I have Infiltrator, so this just dies. wait, hold up. Okay, wait. So Palafin dies. I think Druby might not have known this had Infiltrator on it. We might have, I think, gotten out of jail on this one a little bit. I think we got a little bit of a get out of jail free card. Which, look, you take the wins where you can get them. I think the Slowbro Galler might still have a move to hit this if I can't kill it. Like, I kill the Iron Moth from this range. That's assured. I'm pretty confident on that. Question is whether he has Slowbro Galler, a move to kill this thing from about 52-53%. Man, that's unfortunate. Oh, I feel so bad about this now. Oh, that Druby subbed on that. The DD Dragonite was really hard in this matchup to kind of play around, and I think I probably could have played around it a little bit better than I had elected to. Well, I mean, we are choice banded, so I mean, there's not much that can be done. There's even a chance that this potentially kills from full against full Fizz Dap, and I mean, if he's Spit Dap, then it won't kill, or if it's not fully Fizz Dap, it's going to kill guaranteed. Psyshock, yeah, that probably doesn't kill me. So let's see. It's probably a decent chance that this lives. If it's, was it like calm? Yeah, as soon as it becomes calm, then it, he has to be basically fully Fizz Dap to live this. So let's see. He isn't. Wow. I don't. Oh my god. I feel so bad for this game. Oh, I feel so bad for Druby. That subplay, unfortunately, choke. The choke, unfortunately, is going to cost him the game here. And I mean, that's kind of what's going to happen. There's not. I don't really have much to say besides that, unless this is somehow like extremely bulky and lives this. But I think even most bulky sets are not going to live. He could potentially have been a Morning Sun, but I think we are going to pick up the win here. We are going to pick up the win week 1 against Druby. That is... Look, a win is a win. Winners win, but I definitely don't feel great about how that one went. I feel pretty shitty about how that one went, honestly. Winning because of the fact that it appears that Druby didn't know that Dragapult had Infiltrator, or that just escaped his mind when he clicked Substitute. But, and there we go. That is week 1. We have beaten Druby 1-0. Pretty interesting battle, to say the least. One of the things I'd like to comment on from that commentary is that the Palafin situation was actually a win either way for me without the Substitute. Looking at the damage it did previously, I think that's something that I kind of missed throughout the game. While commentating, given the fact that they had subbed, it felt like a choke at the time, and while, forgetting the ability is unfortunate, that was a win either way. So we pull off a good 1-0 win. A few things to take away from that game. I really don't like how I played that Iron Jugulus, situation around Dragonite. I just don't think it was a very productive way to play that game. And I think what the best play would have been maybe was just to, if I think U-turning the first time was okay. But then from there, just to go into Iron Moth and just attack the thing instead of trying to bring Iron Jugulus. I think when I was in prep and thinking through the team, I really narrowed in on Ironhead being, a Moo, DD, Roost, Declaw, Ironhead being probably the set that most likely to come. And Extreme Speed kind of, escaped my brain during that battle. I mean, you see it cost me there a little bit, unfortunately, in the mid-game. So not the most clean game I've ever played, but that's going to be Wi-Fi. First game back, I had a little bit of anxiety going to that game. I haven't commentated over playing a game in over a year, so the first one's always the toughest one. So, hopefully from here it only gets easier. Next week we're playing against Jay Ricky. He started this week 0-1. So he's going to be looking to bounce back as well. Spoilers if you haven't watched that video. But that's going to be a really big week next week, and a really interesting matchup, one that's going to be difficult for me for a number of reasons. But I really like the build that we're going to have going into next week. You'll see the team builder for that on Friday, and as always, battles every Saturday. So that is all for today. I will see you on the next video, and as always, have a wonderful day.